Greetings, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we look at another indie game. This time we're checking out Scorn, developed by Ebb Software and published by Kepler Interactive. Now when I first saw this game, I assumed it was a survival horror game like Resident Evil, but it's actually a Lovecraft-inspired puzzle game. Now don't let that put you off, it's a very challenging but very rewarding game. It's also one of the most immersive and innovative puzzle games I've played in a very long time. I'm going to show you the first part of the campaign, and as always let you know what my thoughts are. Let's have a look at Scorn. The game begins with us underground. We've fallen from the surface, which is a hellish wasteland. We don't know why we're here, and we don't know how we're going to get out. We don't even know what this place is, but you can see that the game is very heavily influenced by the works of Lovecraft and Geiger. This underground labyrinth looks like a hellish nightmare. It looks like we're walking through this organic body. And it's definitely not human. And this theme will extend to the equipment and even the weapons that we use throughout the game. So we're going to head down to the main chamber. Now as you walk through here, it really does have the appearance of a body. You can see there's wear, there's walls that are damaged, there's equipment that's broken down, just like a human body. You can see areas are in disrepair, and speaking of bodies, our own body is barely recognisable. We don't have any genitals, our body is covered in a very hard armor-like substance, and here we're going to have to modify ourselves a little bit more. This is a key, and it's essential to use to navigate through this facility. Now to moments like this I wish I had a VR headset, because this game would be even more immersive if you had a VR headset. But everything in the game is intuitive. You look around, and most of the switches and doors in the game are also timed. You have the main chamber. Our goal is to get past the blast doors which are up here, but to do that we're going to need a little bit of help. Yep, this is where we need to go, and we're going to need to find the elevator, which will take us to the second floor. Here we go. You can see there's the feel of organics everywhere in the game. All the switches involve you having to place your hand inside or manipulate them in an organic way. There's no buttons, there's no toggles or levers in the game, it's all organic. Now here we have our first puzzle, and I'm not going to lie, this took me a very long time to pull off. Our goal is to get these items, these keys, into the receptacle on the right. On the left, I can't tell direction, like so. So these little pods, the ones that are lit up, are ones that we can use. We then will use this grapple to grab what we need. Now, fortunately, this one is a little bit faulty and has kind of died on us. Because our key, of course, is another human being. So now our goal is to get this spare key over to the left, and this is where the game gets really hard. This little puzzle took me a fair amount of time to figure out. And even now, I'm probably going to need a little bit of time to nut it out. We want to get these here out of the way. Our goal is to shift all of the non-working pods to the right and all of the working pods to the left. Well, our one working pod. Like so. Now, I may be making this look easy, but I can assure you it is not. It took me a fair amount of time to figure this out. In fact, I sat here for almost an hour and a half trying to figure this out, and in my defense, there's a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of criticism of the review, which I think is a little bit unfair, that this is, it's too hard. So we have to get this to the right. So we'll take it up. Ah, okay. I think I know. What I have to do here, I have to move this. Oh, I've done something wrong here. Ah, I know. No? Okay. So what we're going to do is move one of our singular ones. There we go. So we're nearly there. Move this here. Move this here. So even having a rough idea of what I need to do is still quite challenging. Move this here. It's still not going to work. Move this here. Move this here. Hey, there we go. Now I can move this into position. Now, I'm doing this in record time, but I sat here for an hour and a half trying to figure it out, and there's a lot of other people that actually got to this part of the game and put it down because of it. So hopefully that helps you. There's our squishy friend. Now, at this point in the game, we have a choice. We can rescue our friend, or we can harvest his body for parts. Now, either way will get you past the first puzzle. But I have a liking to our little buddy, so I'm going to try and get him out alive if I can. Now, the irony is that before I started YouTube, if I had picked this game up, seen the first part of the game, realised it wasn't Resident Evil, I probably would have put it down too. But I've kind of taken a liking to these puzzle games now, and I'm a little bit more tolerant of them. So then our next puzzle is that we have to align the tracks. So we're done with this one. And there's another switch up here that will align the tracks. Now you might think I'm kind of powering through this, but I've done it all before. And I sat here for a good few hours. Mr. Bobbles actually figured it out, which isn't too bad. Which I get, it goes to show that I guess you just have to be smart enough to figure it out. Now, I don't want to harvest our friend, so I'm going to skip the... No, I think that's the one we want. Let's see how we go. Our friend's stuck up here, we can get him out. Now I can't help but feel some empathy for him because he looks so helpless in here. And you can see him trying to reach out for help, begging you, even though he can't talk, in his own special way for assistance. And we can kill him, but I've kind of taken a liking to this guy, and it goes to show that the game is making me feel empathy for a, you know, this squishy being that's barely human. This is going to hurt, buddy, but I need to break that outer shell to get you out. You can see the blood that's pouring off the top of him. That was definitely painful. He's trying to get out. I'm sorry, my man. Okay, we definitely picked the wrong track, so let's back you up a bit. There are 3 tracks, and 2 of them, one of them's broken. The other one leads to a, let's call the giant ice cream scoop, which I'm sure you can imagine what it will do to him. And the 3rd is a saw, which we can use to free our buddy. So that one, no, and do that one next. Oh, we can do both. Hang tight, buddy, we got you. Now, some people might be a bit disappointed with the way that the game doesn't really... Oh, okay, well, that's going to go to the saw. They might be disappointed that there's no real narrative to the game, but I think that kind of leads into the yeah, that's it. That's the ice cream scoop of death. We definitely don't want that. I got you, buddy. So again, you can see with the different controls, you're literally putting your face in this. You interact with things by placing a part of your body inside of them, and part of the horror of the game is not knowing what it's going to do to you. You know, you could lose a limb, it could horribly disfigure you. There's no way of knowing. And I think that's, you know, part of the aesthetic of the game. The horror is this living body, whatever this place is. People are fuel. This guy is literally being used as fuel, and we're playing into the system because we don't have any choice. It's the only way for us to get out alive. We have to somehow get out of here with causing the least amount of suffering to some of the other prisoners or the captives, the experiments, whatever they are. So hopefully we can get ourselves a bit of good karma, even though I had to force this guy to help me. At least I can get him out alive. For now. Poor guy's crying out for help. And what we're about to do is going to be quite painful for him, but it's the only way we can get him out of there alive. Time for a bit of home surgery. Hold still, buddy. unfortunately we cut a little bit too deep. You can see the horrific damage that the saw did to him. I'm going to call you Bob. Bob the Squishy Man. So Bob's seen better days. He just had a saw touch up his spine, but hopefully we can get him on his feet. And he's going to help us open the door to the next area. If he doesn't go and die on us first. You can see how terribly disfigured his body is from being trapped inside that just inside that cocoon. His legs are horribly misshapen, as are his arms, and he's having quite a lot of trouble moving around. And unfortunately for us, there's very little we can do to help him. Now we do have to get him a... here we go. Come on, Bob. Now we're going to get him a key, same as what's on our arm. Sorry, my man. I helped you, you gotta help me now. This will only hurt for a minute. Or two. Now Bob can open the second door. He's an awfully trusting guy, even though we did save his life. He's still willing to help us, even though I jammed his arm in a machine. He probably doesn't know what it's for, but it's for this switch here. Because we need a secondary person. It's a double switch. One will open the door and the other one will disengage the lock. Come on, Bob. So we have to be a little bit mercenary at the moment and force him to help us out. It doesn't help that we can't communicate. Sorry, Bob. So we've got access to the second area, but unfortunately here's the real horror. I can't get him out of there. I've tried everything I can think of. This guy's now trapped, so we've saved him only to doom him to a slow death anyway. So it goes to show that no matter what you do, there's really not a... There's no happy path to this game. It's a hellish world we live in, where it's dog eat dog. But that is it. We've managed to get past the first section of Scorn, and I hope you enjoyed this first look at the game. Now, the game is very difficult, the puzzles are extremely challenging, and I have already solved a lot of them, which is why we managed to get through so quickly. If you're looking for a Resident Evil style horror game that's a bit more action oriented, this may not be for you. But if you're looking for a very unique look at puzzle games with some influence from Lovecraft and Geiger, then this game will be exactly what you're looking for. I've really been enjoying it, and I hope this gives you an indication of whether you want to go and pick this one up. If you like this video, leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, and I hope you'll join me next time when we look at another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.